Rosalina's identity. The theory that Rosalina is the daughter of Luigi and Princess Peach from an alternate timeline. In Super Mario Galaxy, Rosalina's storybook reveals her backstory. She had a mother with a resemblance to Peach, featuring blonde hair and a similar facial structure, and her father had a mustache matching Luigi's distinctive style. The storybook describes her mother making her a dress identical to the one Peach wears. Rosalina herself has Peach's blonde hair and blue eyes, but her height and reserved personality mirror Luigi's characteristics. The theory suggests she traveled from a timeline where Luigi and Peach married, explaining why she appears as an adult despite being a protector of the cosmos. Her association with stars and space creates a physical and temporal distance from the Mushroom Kingdom, preventing a paradox. The storybook mentions she visits her home planet every 100 years to see if her mother is waiting, implying she left long ago and can never truly return. This theory gains weight from Nintendo's careful attention to character design and narrative consistency across the Galaxy games. Rosalina's maternal nature toward the Lumas, combined with her melancholic backstory, suggests a deeper connection to the main cast than simply being another princess character. The developers deliberately chose specific physical traits that align with both Luigi and Peach, while making her distinct enough to stand alone. Mushroom Kingdom Apocalypse. The theory that the Mushroom Kingdom exists on a post-apocalyptic Earth. Evidence throughout the series points to the kingdom being built on ruins of human civilization. The green pipes that serve as the kingdom's primary transportation system resemble industrial sewage and utility infrastructure. Goombas, according to official sources, are chestnuts corrupted by magic, suggesting environmental mutation of earth plants. Chain chomps behave exactly like guard dogs, but are mechanical, implying they're repurposed security systems or weapons from before the collapse. Super Mario Odyssey features the Metro Kingdom with New Donk City, which contains human-scale architecture, realistic humans, and a mayor named Pauline, directly connecting the Mario universe to a world where humans exist at normal proportions. The Koopas themselves might be mutated turtles, with their ability to walk upright and use tools suggesting either extreme evolution or magical transformation. Bullet bills are clearly artillery shells given life, and bob-ombs are walking bombs, both suggesting a world where war machines became sentient creatures. The presence of coins everywhere might represent the scattered currency of the previous civilization. Several games show ancient ruins beneath current kingdoms, and these structures often use architectural styles matching human buildings rather than the whimsical mushroom aesthetic of current society. The technological level varies wildly across the kingdom, from medieval castles to flying airships to mechanical fortresses, suggesting survivors cobbled together whatever pre-apocalypse technology they could salvage. This explains why Bowser can build complex machines and robots, while the Mushroom Kingdom remains relatively medieval in its governance structure. The theory proposes that humans were transformed into the various species through exposure to the magical mushrooms that now define the kingdom, with only a few like Mario, Luigi, Peach, and the citizens of New Donk City retaining their original forms. Boo Origins. Boos as the ghosts of dead characters from the Mario universe. These shy ghosts exhibit behavior that suggests they retain memories and personalities from their living days. They only move when not being watched, implying shame or regret about their current state. They inhabit specific locations like mansions, fortresses, and castles, often places associated with tragedy or violence. King Boo's intense personal hatred of Luigi goes beyond simple antagonism, suggesting a deeper connection or past wrong. The portrait ghosts in Luigi's mansion are confirmed to be specific dead individuals with detailed backstories, proving that ghosts in this universe are former living beings rather than generic spirits. The games establish that Boos haunt locations where they died or had strong emotional connections. Their appearance in athletic events and party games alongside living characters creates an unsettling implication that these are normalized undead beings participating in society. Some fans theorize that the generic Boos might be Toads or other Mushroom Kingdom citizens who died during Bowser's many attacks, forced to remain as ghosts guarding his fortresses. This would explain their loyalty to Bowser despite being victims of violence. Luigi's Mansion Deaths. The portrait ghosts in Luigi's Mansion reveal a mansion full of murder victims. Each ghost in the gallery has a specific cause of death or tragic backstory revealed through their behavior and room design. Neville, the shy bookworm, remains in a study suggesting he isolated himself before death. Lydia, the mirror-gazing mother, exhibits vanity that might have led to her demise. The baby's room contains toys and a constant state of crying, implying something terrible happened to an infant. Slim Bankshot died while playing pool, with his skeletal appearance and pool cue suggesting he was murdered during a game. Biff Atlas died while exercising, frozen in a weightlifting pose. Henry and Orville, the married couple in the twins' room, watch over baby cradles that are now empty. The mansion itself appeared overnight, according to the game's opening, suggesting it manifested from another dimension or time. King Boo created it specifically to trap Luigi, populating it with these portrait ghosts, who he imprisoned in paintings. The question becomes, where did these ghosts come from? Were they killed by King Boo specifically for this trap, or were they already dead and he's using their spirits? The portrait ghosts attack Luigi on sight, suggesting they're either under King Boo's control or angry about their current state. Professor E. Gadd's ghost portrificationizer doesn't destroy the ghosts, but instead seals them in paintings, raising ethical questions about whether Luigi is saving them or further imprisoning them. The portrait descriptions in the gallery reveal personal details about their lives, their favorite possessions, and their personalities, confirming these were once real individuals with complex lives before becoming trapped spirits. Toad parasitism, the theory that toads are humans transformed by parasitic mushrooms. The toad's design shows their mushroom cap is actually their head, not a hat, with several games confirming this anatomical detail. The Kingdom's power-up system supports this theory. When Mario consumes a mushroom, he transforms, growing larger and changing properties. If mushrooms can temporarily transform Mario, sustained exposure or consumption could explain the toad's permanent state. Toadsworth, the elderly toad who serves as Peach's steward, exhibits human-like intelligence, speech patterns, and social structures, suggesting a human consciousness trapped in a mushroom body. The Mushroom Kingdom's entire power structure revolves around mushrooms, with the royal family ruling over mushroom people. Princess Peach's ability to rule over toads, while remaining human herself, creates a disturbing hierarchy. The toads serve her absolutely, never questioning her authority, which could indicate either extreme loyalty or an inability to resist due to their transformed state. Enemy designs support the parasitism theory. Goombas are mushrooms that walk, suggesting the fungal infection spreads to other organisms. The fact that Goombas were once loyal to the Mushroom Kingdom before betraying it to Bowser implies they were transformed toads who lost their identity completely. Power-ups throughout the series consistently involve consuming mushrooms, flowers, or leaves to gain temporary abilities, but the toad's transformation appears permanent. This suggests different types or concentrations of the fungal infection. Some toads show more human-like proportions and behaviors than others, possibly indicating various stages of transformation or resistance to the parasitism. Shadow Queen bloodline. Princess Peach's connection to the Shadow Queen from Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. The Shadow Queen, an ancient demon sealed beneath Rogueport 1,000 years before the game's events, can only be revived by possessing a pure maiden of royal blood. When she possesses Peach, the transformation is instant and complete, suggesting a specific compatibility. The crystal stars that sealed her away respond to Peach's presence, and the entire plot revolves around Peach being the key to the demon's return. The Shadow Queen's appearance, while possessing Peach, shows a dark, corrupted version of the princess with similar facial features and body structure, implying their connection goes deeper than simple possession. The theory proposes that Peach is a direct descendant of the individual who sealed the Shadow Queen originally, possibly even a reincarnation. This would explain why the demon specifically needed Peach and why the possession worked so perfectly. The Shadow Queen's crown and jewelry merge with Peach's own, suggesting a recognition between the artifacts. Throughout the Thousand-Year Door, Peach wears a magical necklace given to her at the story's start, and this necklace becomes the anchor point for her possession. The question emerges, was Peach always vulnerable to this possession due to her bloodline, or did someone deliberately arrange for her to receive the necklace, knowing what would happen? Before we continue, if you're enjoying this kind of gaming content, I post videos like this all the time. Subscribing would really mean a lot. Dire Docks. The submerged city beneath Princess Peach's castle in Super Mario 64. When Mario enters the Dire Docks painting, he finds himself in an underwater area featuring massive stone pillars, architectural columns, and structured pathways that suggest a deliberate city layout now completely underwater. The area contains a submarine and dock structures, implying this was once an active port. A giant eel named Unagi guards the area, but the question remains, what is it guarding, and why? The placement of this area directly beneath Peach's castle implies the castle was built on top of these ruins. The architectural style doesn't match the Mushroom Kingdom's typical whimsical design, but instead resembles ancient Roman or Greek construction with its columns and precise stonework. The water level suggests a catastrophic flooding event or deliberate submersion. No explanation is given in the game for why this sunken city exists or what happened to its inhabitants. The presence of power stars in this location implies it holds significant importance to the castle's power structure. Some theorists suggest this city predates the Mushroom Kingdom entirely and represents the world before the apocalyptic transformation. Others propose it's a deliberately flooded district, perhaps to contain something dangerous or hide evidence of past events. Piantas's treatment. The colonial and exploitative dynamics present in Super Mario Sunshine. Mario arrives on Isle Delfino for a vacation and is immediately arrested by Pianta police for crimes he didn't commit. The authorities refuse to investigate properly despite clear evidence that Shadow Mario is the actual culprit. Mario is sentenced to clean the entire island as forced labor, and the Piantas accept this without question. The relationship between Piantas and Noki people shows clear social stratification, with Nokis living in the bay and underwater areas, while Piantas control the mainland and law enforcement. The island's economy revolves around tourism and fruit, with working-class Piantas constantly mentioning their labor and struggles. The police-state elements become more apparent throughout the game. Surveillance is constant, the justice system is immediate and harsh, and no appeals process exists. When Mario completes his sentence and the real villain is revealed, the Piantas offer no apology or compensation for the false imprisonment and forced labor. The island's power structure centers around the Shine sprites, which provide light and power, creating resource dependency that the ruling class controls. Piantas frequently express fear of authority and concern about meeting their work quotas. The game treats this as comic relief, but examining it critically reveals a society built on exploitation, where even a hero like Mario can be enslaved without recourse. The question emerges, how many others have been falsely accused and forced into labor on this island? Shiver Star. The theory connecting Shiver Star from Kirby 64 to a frozen Earth in the Nintendo shared universe. Shiver Star is the fifth planet in Kirby's galaxy and is shown as an icy world with a shape nearly identical to Earth's continents visible beneath the ice. When Kirby explores the planet's interior, he finds abandoned factories, shopping malls, and industrial complexes designed for human-scale inhabitants. The architecture includes escalators, conveyor belts, assembly lines, and even Christmas decorations, suggesting humans lived there before the freeze. No humans are present, and the factories operate autonomously with hostile robots attacking intruders. The planet's frozen state implies a catastrophic climate event wiped out human civilization. The theory connects this to the Mario universe through Nintendo's tendency to link their franchises subtly. If the Mushroom Kingdom is post-apocalyptic Earth, where survivors adapted through mutation and magic, Shiver Star could represent Earth in a timeline where the apocalypse took a different form, an ice age that froze the planet while humanity was still present. The abandoned factories full of working robots suggest humans either fled the planet or died suddenly, leaving their automated systems running. The specific inclusion of Christmas decorations and shopping areas confirms these were meant for human culture, not some alien species. The environmental storytelling throughout Shiver Star's levels shows a civilization that tried to survive the freeze. Indoor environments are sealed and climate-controlled. Factories continue producing goods for inhabitants who no longer exist, and security systems still defend empty facilities. This connection suggests Nintendo's universe contains multiple versions or stages of Earth's fate, with different franchises exploring various apocalyptic outcomes. Dry Bones Reality, the disturbing truth about Dry Bones as undead Koopa Troopas still serving Bowser. Dry Bones are skeletal versions of standard Koopas, explicitly shown as dead Koopas in various game materials. They cannot be permanently destroyed by jumping on them, they collapse into bone piles and reassemble moments later, confirming their undead nature. They appear almost exclusively in Bowser's castles, fortresses, and the darkest levels, suggesting they died serving Bowser and continue their service even in death. The implications are disturbing. Either Bowser reanimates his fallen soldiers, or their loyalty is so strong they refuse to stop serving even after death. The Dry Bones exhibit the same behavior patterns as living Koopa Troopas, walking patrol routes and attacking Mario on sight, implying they retain some memory or instinct from their living days. They're immune to fire in most games, despite being made of bone, which should be flammable, suggesting dark magic sustains them. Later games show Dry Bowser, a skeletal version of Bowser himself, confirming that any Koopa species can become a Dry Bones variant. The question becomes, what happened to create so many Dry Bones? Did they die in previous battles against Mario? Were they casualties of Bowser's own schemes? The games never address why these undead soldiers are normalized in Bowser's army, or why no one questions their presence. Their existence implies a death toll from the endless Mario-Bowser conflicts that the games otherwise present as bloodless and consequence-free. Bowser's intelligence. the theory that Bowser is far more intelligent than he appears and deliberately plays a comedic villain role. Throughout the series, Bowser demonstrates incredible engineering feats. He builds flying airships, complex castles with elaborate trap systems, robots, and even mechanical suits large enough to house himself. In Bowser's Inside Story, the game reveals his internal biology contains entire civilizations and complex systems, suggesting he's far more than a simple brute. His strategic planning shows sophistication. He's conquered multiple kingdoms, commands vast armies, and adapts his tactics with each encounter. Despite this genius, Bowser consistently makes seemingly foolish decisions, kidnapping Peach in predictable patterns, building castles with obvious weak points, and positioning power-ups where Mario can use them. The theory suggests this is intentional. Perhaps Bowser wants to be defeated, finding purpose in the eternal conflict with Mario. Maybe he's following rules of engagement that we don't see, treating the kidnappings as a ritualized game rather than actual warfare. His treatment of Bowser Jr. shows genuine parenting skills and emotional intelligence. In the RPG games, Bowser teams up with Mario and displays wit, humor, and tactical brilliance, suggesting his villainous persona is partially an act. The engineering alone proves his intelligence. He creates time machines, dimensional portals, space stations, and reality-warping devices. No explanation is given for how a supposedly brutish turtle King masters physics, engineering, and magic at such advanced levels. His fortresses contain precision-timed platforms, complex machinery, and architectural marvels that would require teams of engineers to design. The theory proposes Bowser is playing a specific role in Mushroom Kingdom society, perhaps even colluding with Peach to maintain a status quo that benefits both kingdoms through ritualized conflict that prevents actual war. If you found this worth your time, think about subscribing so you never miss new gaming content. Thanks for watching.